They succeed, well, we succeed. And they're starting their business and getting funded millions of dollars to prove that their service or product and creation is needed for the market.
What moves you? What moves you in business and keeps you going through the hardship? Hi, and welcome to the Roots to Riches podcast, where we discuss all things business. This is our premiere episode. We are hosted by Golden Tree Wealth Partners, which is a small business solutions firm. We do fractional CFO, tax, accounting, and payroll services. And we serve all different sizes of enterprises nationwide. Today, I'm here to introduce you to our founder and managing partner, Erik Cascio. My name is Joanna Kruger. I am the VP of Business Development and Marketing here at Golden Tree. We are so grateful you've tuned in here today. Thank you for joining us. Erik, what made you feel as though you wanted to start a business like Golden Tree Wealth Partners, and when did you start this business?
Yeah, I've been a financial planner for 16 years, and many of my clients were business owners. And what I found was a lot of mom and pop shops that were really doing well. They were established, being in business for 20 plus years, doing $25 million plus in annual revenues, but yet still lacked financial infrastructure. So typically it was kind of disorganized, and maybe my brother-in-law does this, my aunt does this, or we have people that do unspecific roles in management of the operations, and so the roles weren't completely defined. Roles were being kind of meshed up, and the biggest thing that I found was the actual business owners were self-employed, tied to their business. So a lot of times, if I asked them, would you be able to step away from your business for, let's say, 6 months without your business faltering or falling? A lot of times the answer was no. I need to be there at all times. Otherwise, this is not going to work. And so, to me, that there's a big opportunity to teach business owners that have been around for quite a while, that are doing very well, but to teach them to build infrastructure so that they can eventually walk away from their business or have an exit strategy to say, hey, why don't you start to enjoy life rather than always being tied to your business? Because essentially, I go into defining the roles of, are you self-employed or are you an entrepreneur? And so I want to teach those business owners how to be a true entrepreneur and be able to walk away from their business, but yet their business continues to work like a machine and create wealth, and also not only create wealth for them, but to scale their business beyond the point that they're in right now. And so that's the reason why I created Golden Tree Wealth Partners, is to help business owners scale their business, create the ability to have an exit strategy, and to walk away and essentially have a self-sustaining business on its own.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I definitely can understand and relate to that feeling of wanting to pursue creating a business, but feeling overwhelmed by how much time, energy, and skill set is required in order to do that. I mean, you really have to master so many different types of like the taxes, of course, is a huge thing. Like even understanding, do I start an LLC? Do I work as a sole proprietor? What does it mean to hire employees? What kind of contracts do I need to hire? It's a wild west of information, and it's definitely a need that people have.
Yeah, definitely. And so things like that, like even entity structure of whether or not I should be an S corp, should I be a C corp, things of that sort, or what are the benefits of doing either or? How do I know when to hire a new employee, for instance? Do I have my pricing correct for the service or product that I provide? And those are questions that we can help answer for our clients. Something as simple as that, or essentially compliance and organization. So how is your internal accounting department? Do you have somebody that is on the mark and able to provide financial reports for you on a monthly and quarterly basis? but not only provide those accurate reports, but also break it down to the business owner to say, hey, this is the direction in which your business should be doing or growing. These are some metrics and ratios that we can teach you to build a KPI or things of metrics that we can record and track for you. Maybe it's a different marketing approach that we want to increase our marketing budgets. How do we track whether or not that marketing strategy is working for us? How is it creating return on investment? So many times we have business owners that are throwing money into Google ads or Facebook ads or just overall anything and kind of rolling the dice to see how it works, but they're not really tracking. And so a lot of times it's not their fault because they don't have the time to track that because they're doing everything within their business. But that essentially is why we created Golden Tree Wealth Partners. We're your partner to help you with all of those things that you normally don't have time to do. And so that's the value that we bring to our clients.
That's a lot of value. Now, when working with small business owners in a variety of industries, let's say, what are some of the most common problems that you hear them facing that ultimately result in the biggest headaches should they do nothing?
Yeah, we had a couple of clients that had some nightmare situations that we've encountered. And a lot of it goes into their operating agreement and how they make decisions. So typically we find a business that has multiple partners involved. And so if there's a major decision that needs to be made in the business, typically there should be an outline of how that decision is made and who has influence in the final say of making that decision. And so having a very detailed operating agreement, bylaw agreement will outline how decisions are to be made and it's legally binded. And so a lot of times when we get into discussions, we've had clients that have complete big arguments and different visions of how the business should go, to where it's a point where it's now risking the entire business operations because you have two partners that have two completely different ideas or decisions that they want to make on their business. And it all stems from not having a very clear operating agreement of, is this a unanimous vote that we're going to decide on, or does this have to do with the type of staking that you have or overriding authority that you would have in your decision making? So how does that all work, and what types of decisions are to be made or that qualify for, let's say, a unanimous vote versus a vote that's based on either equity position, right? Also, what happens if, from a risk standpoint, what happens if you're disabled? What happens if there's a death in the family? What happens if there's a divorce? So if there's a divorce, now, am I a partner of your spouse that has nothing to do with our business? So how does that all work? And these are very fundamental things that we bring up to our clients to ensure that there's really no confusion. There's not going to be any type of lawsuit. It's not going to risk the entire business operation simply because we have a complete misunderstanding of each other. And so that's the things that we want to focus on.
Understood. Now, when it comes to, let's say, scaling, I am a business owner who's generating 10 million in revenue and things are going well. Maybe a year or two behind on my taxes, but I have all my projections. Things are looking good. It feels good, let's say. But I am concerned that the reason I haven't paid my taxes is that I'm not filing in a way that maximizes my returns. Now, that being said, I do want to grow my business in the next few years, but I'm concerned that I might not be compliant. Is this something that you can not only help me feel some peace of mind about, but what would be your suggestion for what I do and how quickly I do it?
Yeah, so we have a very detailed onboarding process. So we provide, I guess you can call it a light audit or an informal audit. So we'll send an intake form that will provide us enough information, questions to the business owner, covering all the things, whether it's risk management, compliance, Again, business bylaws, operating agreement, entity structure. We'll take a look at a lot of things, how your pricing modeling is, um, everything down to the bones of where we want to make sure we have everything aligned. And so, based on that intake form, we're going to ask questions to the business owner, A through Z, and then based on how they answer those questions, and it's very easy for them to complete. We'll be able to assess where the opportunities are, where maybe some improvements need to be in, or if it's working just fine, well, maybe it's just continuing to work on that strength that the business owner has. And so we'll do a complete assessment, and then we'll build a scope of work to specifically narrow down where we need to focus our efforts in. So maybe it's marketing to help scale the business. So what types of marketing strategies are we going to use, and how much are we going to allocate based on a tight budget? And then this way we would be able to track and then calculate the return on investment. Maybe it's a pricing scenario where we'll increase the margins based on pricing. So we'll take a look at where your local competitors, how they're pricing their product and service that's similar to yours. We'll also do a quick macro study where we'll take a look at the industry and see where the baselines are for the prices and services and products that you guys offer. So maybe it's something that we can increase margin without necessarily increasing revenue. That also increases different budgets and can be essentially a rainfall effect of other things like marketing, or maybe it's more staffing or strategic positioning of what we're doing. So that would be the process that would help them.
How long does that process take?
Not long. Again, it's probably a question of maybe 10 to 20 questions at most. From there, we'll narrow it down within a day. We'll have a scope of work presented to our potential client. I'll go over examples as well of how we can help. And then from there, it's just onboarding on retainer agreement. And then right then and there, we can get started in working with the business.
That's incredible. Now, do you do any capital raising or acquiring debt for businesses as well?
Yeah, we can definitely put them in the right position to raise capital. A lot of times we have clients that are ready or willing to raise capital right away, but they're not completely prepared to yet. And so before we even ask for a dollar, we make sure that they're well prepared, organized, so that when investors do ask specific questions, we're able to answer those right away. Have a plan A, plan B, and plan C. But also, we would want to coach our clients on even how to answer those questions, or what things they should be really focused on, and why even are they looking to raise capital, and what got them started with this business. And a lot of times, half of it is really seeing the passion behind the founders of the business, because that's really important too, besides the financial information. But is it all about money, or is it something that you're extremely passionate about, that you really want to change the way things are, the way things are in the world, based with your service or product that you're offering? So something has to be important to you besides the money factor that we look for when we're talking to our clients and when they're presenting to investors. So we make sure that they're well prepped. We don't guarantee that they can have a successful raise, but we'll give them the highest probability that they're going to raise capital and succeed.
Speaking of passion, what is the thing you feel most passionate about with Golden Tree Wealth Partners and the ideas that you're driving and bringing to the industry?
No, I love working with business owners. And I mentioned that being a business owner, being an entrepreneur is a very, very lonely path to grow wealth. And one of the things that I love working with is working with people that have great ideas, extremely creative, they're passionate about what they do, they're self motivating. And being an entrepreneur is so hard. You have so many different obstacles to go through. And it's a lot to do with your mentality and your spirit, I believe. And so when I talk to an entrepreneur or a potential client, I know the things that they're going through. I know that maybe their family doesn't approve. Maybe their spouse is telling them, why are you doing something crazy like this? You're working crazy hours. You're not coming home with a paycheck or a consistent paycheck.
Why are you working Sundays?
Why are you working Sundays? I can't believe you're sacrificing this time with family or friends. And you see everyone having their own lives. And yet, if you're the right type of entrepreneur, you're going to make sacrifices. And that stuff is very, very tough on somebody, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. And knowing that people are going through that, I at least want to help mitigate a lot of those doubts that people have growing their business, because I've been through it myself. And if I can change or at least relieve a lot of that stress for our clients, I will. And again, that's the biggest reason why I say we are your wealth partners, because I want to be your partner in this whole thing, and I want to see you succeed. And that's what really drives me to move forward and to grow our business and our firm, to acquire a lot of these clients and get them and show them the way.
That's incredible. I think the human connection, that personalized connection, is definitely something that in our modern world with technology and social media and all of these ways in which we aren't able to connect with people genuinely, it's more and more needed in the business world and the professional world.
Yeah.
And in whatever way we can, building community is what I think drives positive lifestyle, positive life experiences, and positive growth in the business.
Yeah, I would say it's very hard to find someone you can trust.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to find a true business partner that has great intentions and aligned vision to what you want to do within your business.
Yeah.
And so I want to make that easier for entrepreneurs to be able to trust at least an organization that has proven success, that has the credibility like we do, to work with anyone, and industry agnostic, to where you don't need to sacrifice your equity to find a good business partner. You don't need to have payroll taxes or bonus structure. All of these things that comes into play. We really truly care about our clients, and we want them to succeed, because when they succeed, well, we succeed. And so it's to our best interest and benefit that our clients get to that point where they're scaling their business well beyond $25 million or more. They're starting their business and getting funded millions of dollars to prove that their service or product and creation is needed for the market. So,
yeah, it sounds like when you're hiring somebody from Golden Tree Wealth Partners, you're not just hiring an accountant or a business analyst, somebody that can support you with the numbers, but also somebody who can support you emotionally and with your vision, ultimately, and share that passion.
That's exactly why I chose you.
Well, shucks.
Yeah. So it does have a lot to do with emotional intelligence. I will say that about 50% of what we do is almost on a therapeutic level with our clients. And like I mentioned before, the stresses of being an entrepreneur and making those sacrifices, or managing other employees is a struggle. It's very, very tough. It takes a lot of grit. And for us to be emotionally intelligent enough to recognize those things and to know how to communicate to our clients is another skill that is needed. I think it's a skill needed in everything, but more so how we communicate with our clients and how we know what things and what triggers, so that we can relate to our clients and be on the same page, because that again is difficult to find. And again, that's a factor that we don't really talk a lot about, because we can talk about, we can do the pro forma financials for you, we can do the accounting for you, the taxes. But the things that we don't talk about and our clients pick up right away is the emotional intelligence level that we provide for them. We really truly understand their perception, their views on things, and the struggles that they go through, even beyond the business factor. So we understand the stories of and the struggles of the clients that we intake and are with us, right? So they might be going through something personally. They might be going through major personal issues, but at least they have us to rely on to keep them motivated and to sustain their vision that they want to move forward with.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, in terms of the grand scope of what Golden Tree Wealth Partners do, we've talked a little bit about, the tax filing, compliance, payroll, but one thing that caught my eye when you were telling me about Golden Tree Wealth Partners at the genesis of this company was this concept called CFO as a service. Can you elaborate a little bit more on what it means to offer CFO as a service?
Yeah. I think having an excellent CFO, Chief Financial Officer, within the organization is crucial now. You need to understand how financials work. You need to understand the cost and overhead expenses of what it takes to deliver your product or service. And if you don't understand that to the penny, I think it's a big struggle, not only to raise capital and present to investor, but also to scale your business further where it's at. And so those are ways where we really want to educate our clients on how the ongoing trends are with their revenue, with their margins. We want to teach them financial and business acumen as well. That's extremely important. It's almost like putting into an analogy of going to your destination without a GPS. And if without a CFO, you don't have the GPS. So you're just going blindly, not really understanding whether you're going in the right direction or the wrong direction. The same way you're running your business blindly without knowing the financials behind it. And I can definitely relate it to having essentially a GPS for your business. We are your GPS. We'll tell you exactly where you need to go in order to hit your destination. In this case, your targets that you want to hit. And so I think it's extremely important, aside from having that vision, being the CEO of the company, that would be another crucial pillar to have within your business. And that's why we developed it, because we have the background knowledge and we have the experience to fulfill those roles for any business.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it was a lucrative idea when I heard it. I've never seen that before, offering an executive position who can advise on the financials on a part-time basis. I
Mhm.
mean, it really brings access to something that used to be only accessible by major corporations and larger enterprises now to small businesses who they really benefit from that kind of support in order to get to the next level. And
Mhm.
before it wasn't financially feasible.
Yeah, and I think the term fractional CFO has been thrown around increasingly now. It's still a new concept in which most businesses have never even heard of it, or think it's brand new. But the biggest difference amongst our competitors that offer fractional CFO is most of those businesses are actually recruiting agencies. And so what they'll do is they'll recruit an independent contractor that has a financial background to fill in for the business, but they're hands off with no obligation for that contractor to perform. And so with us, we are proprietary. We don't simply hire a contractor and say, good luck, you're on your own with this person. We actually hold accountability with the advisors that we tie into that client. So it's proprietary under the umbrella of Golden Tree Wealth Partners. On top of that, we bring the infrastructure. So we have teams overseas, we have teams domestic that can be your bookkeeper, your payroll processing, and your tax accountant. So we bring in that full infrastructure along with that CFO advisor. So we're the full gambit of things. We can fill in as your accounting department, we can fill in as your financial department, and then we obviously can fill in as your CFO advisor.
That's quite a package.
Yeah.
Quite a package indeed. Why don't we take a moment to pivot a little bit and tell me more about the team that is behind the Golden Tree Wealth Partners? Because I've introduced myself.
Mhm.
You know me, obviously, but there's a few other people that really help us execute on the vision that Golden Tree Wealth Partners have, and I feel like you do a great job on telling a little bit more about them as well.
Yeah, I would say I feel pretty confident recruiting specific people and specific backgrounds. So everyone that we do have as a CFO advisor or an accountant, or what we call an account manager, has extensive background, years of experience being in their field, has their certifications ready, and also the passion and willingness to really help our clients out. Right, that's another half of the thing. So with all of our advisors that we have at Golden Tree Wealth Partners, they typically have a very, very strong background, either in finance or accounting. They typically have a lot of resources and connections within their network, family offices, venture capitalists, and other organizations that can help really our clients move to that next level, whether it's connections with SBA. So if our business owners, our clients want to get funding through SBA, if it's some type of venture capital debt, private debt, we have resources for our clients uh, going into family offices and pitching their ideas, or just creating overall partnerships that can help their business, whether it's building their corporate credit, other things, right? So all of our advisors have a very, very strong background and experience helping businesses in unique ways or industry specific, like yours is the hospitality restaurant background. You've had
It's true.
leadership in that. We have other advisors that have leadership in those networks. We have advisors that have worked with Fortune 100 company corporations. So we have all the experience that we need to put things together for our clients and give them that high level premium service. So that's what I can say about our team.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the shout out. Appreciate that. Is there anything else that you feel our our audience should know about Golden Tree Wealth Partners, its team, or why they should consider working with us and continuing to also tune into our incredible podcast?
Yeah. No, I think we give that white glove approach. We are really involved with the operations of our clients. And so when we are involved with our clients' operations, I can tell you 100% if you ever talk to any of our clients, they consider us almost family because we are their partners in their business. And I think that approach, that white glove approach, and that feeling of, I can trust you nearly as much as I can trust my family member, or if not more, that speaks volumes to the experience that our clients, provide, or we provide them. So that's one thing I would say that really sets us apart from anyone else. No, no accounting firm or no financial planner or attorney will have that effect as we do with our clients. And I can say that, if you met me in person or if you met our team in person, they truly and genuinely really want to succeed. And so that's a big difference is what we provide market.
I love that response.
Mhm.
Last question. What moves you? What moves you in business and keeps you going through the hardship?
Yeah. Well, family is important to me. I'm the crazy one in my family. I'm the pretty much the only entrepreneur in my family. And so, one of the things that I strive for is building more time to spend with them and being able to share awesome experiences with them, take them out traveling, just having time just to hang out. Because when you get so busy, wrapped up into things, it might be a month or two before you get to see your family. And so, to me, my background, family is very, very important to me. And if I can build enough freedom, financial freedom to spend more time with my family, to share experiences with them, but also the people that are involved in business with me, who I consider my friends. A lot of times I love sharing experiences with everyone and seeing how we can always just hang out together because that really what makes me happy is providing an awesome experience with everyone I care about. And that's really what drives me. And it could be new clients who turn into friends, who eventually turn into family. It could be business partners again, who eventually turn into family. But that kind of covers everything. That's what drives me. Is I want to be able to provide a great experience, and I want to be able to spend time with the people who I care about and I love.
Thank you so much, Erik. Thank you so much for taking time to speak with me today about Golden Tree Wealth Partners, about your background, what got you started with this company. I'm really looking forward to continuing our conversation on this podcast next
Definitely.
week. We will be having new episodes releasing every week on Mondays. Please subscribe to our channel, give us feedback, leave a comment, and let us know what you liked, what you'd like to hear us talk about, if there's any subjects you'd like to learn more about that you've heard in this conversation here today. Otherwise, my name is Joanna Kruger. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we look forward to revisiting Roots to Riches next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.